to the Remington Podcast, where we take a deep dive into all things ammunition. I'm your host, Audrey Mays, and today I'm live at the 2025 NRA booth, and we're meeting with CCW Safe employee, Chris Cunningham. What is it you do with CCW?
My role with CCW Safe is as the critical response team specialist. Mm-hmm. So if we have a situation where a member gets involved in an incident, and I'm needed at scene on the ground, I will respond and meet with that member and spend however many days I need to in that environment, get the ball rolling on some different things, whether we need crime scene cleanup, if we need to put them up in a hotel, just basically to coordinate and stand by for that member in a support role.
Mm-hmm. And so this is for people who maybe get in a self-defense situation and they need some help on the legal side, or with the whole situation?
So what our company does is we have a membership plan.
Okay.
We have multiple membership plans. There are plans that are specific for people that have concealed carry permits, and then there are also plans that are available for people who are constitutional carry states.
Okay.
In those plans, we provide different aspects of support or, resources that would be necessary to them. We provide all criminal and civil defense. There's no cap on those expenses. We hire experts in whatever fields we need to. And then there's also civil liability coverage that's available depending on the plan that you're on and what the limits are for that. Our plans also include bond coverage up to certain limits depending again on the plan that you're on. And then we offer things in the background. We offer counseling services where we will cover counseling appointments for you, which is really part of what I do as support is make sure that they know that there are other resources available to them that don't just stop at the civil or criminal defense part of the situation. Because regardless, even if you do join our company and you are a member and we provide you with that representation, you've still been involved in a traumatic incident.
Right.
So there are a lot more things that you need in support role than just the attorneys and just the experts. And so that's what our plans do. We also have our ultimate plan covers TSA incidents now, where if you get involved in a situation, people have done it. They carry in the same bag they take to the range, they may take on a trip and they don't get a magazine out, or they don't get the gun out, or they don't get the ammunition out. And then you're trying to get on a plane at the airport and TSA says, no, you're going to have to come over here. We do offer that under one of our plans. We also offer the replacement of lost or stolen firearms. It's a really simple step. If you have a firearm that's lost or stolen and you're part of that plan and it's covered, then you send me a copy of the police report. Then you send me a copy of the receipt where you have purchased that same firearm.
Which everyone should have.
Exactly. And we cut you a check to cover the cost of that.
Wow.
And at the cost of an annual Ultimate membership, it's going to replace any firearm, and that's huge. Way more than your annual membership to us under that plan. So
really, you guys are a great, not necessarily because it's not insurance, but you guys are a great policy that covers kind of the unforeseen things that people don't think about when they purchase a firearm.
To be honest, that's really what we pride ourselves on. Our company, the founders, two of our founders are all three of them are prior law enforcement. I personally worked with two at the Oklahoma City Police Department. So they have an understanding of what is necessary beyond what everyone expects.
Right.
We offer crime scene cleanup. We offer counseling services. We offer a lot of things that your basic plans from people that have not been in law enforcement, that have not been on the investigative side of law enforcement, don't have the experience as to what all goes on. They don't understand that that's all stuff that's needed in a support role, and we're able to provide that.
Yeah, the TSA thing is amazing. As someone who works at an ammo manufacturer and takes the same backpack to work that I fly with, if I get caught with a loose round in my backpack, like that's it.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why I do a lot of, I'm not your typical law enforcement or former law enforcement. I'm not really into guns. I carried one. I don't, I shoot on a regular basis to keep the skill proficient, but I'm not, I'm not a gun person. You can ask me and I'd be like, well, let me let you talk to Gary.
Right.
I have Gary Eastridge, who is a fellow critical response team member in our company that I can refer all those to. I'm a big proponent of the mental training as well as the physical. You can have the best physical skill in the world, but if you haven't mentally prepared for a situation, it can be detrimental to you.
Right.
So I am a big proponent of doing a lot of training that has nothing to do with the physical skill. And one of the things I say is your range bag shouldn't be a carry bag.
No, yeah. And when... That's so funny. Yeah. No, it shouldn't. Don't carry the same backpack.
Everybody does it. We get those calls every day. But if you're pre-planning and you're thinking about training and you're thinking about avoiding situations, have a range bag. And don't use it for anything else.
Yes.
So.
Don't do what I do.
We all do it. I've been stopped for a bullet in the bag.
Yeah.
That's why I took that up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The mental care is really amazing as well, because like you said, it's a traumatic experience. No one thinks about what you go through when someone breaks into your home.
Absolutely.
It's not just in the crime scene cleanup. Like, it's not that terrible thing happened to you. And basically, if you have this service, you guys kind of fix it.
Yeah.
Or try to.
Well,
rather.
yeah. And that's the thing. It's not, nothing's going to be fixed right away.
Right.
I mean, we have members who are currently waiting for the adjudication of their cases. They may still be waiting to go to trial. They may be preparing for trial. They may be in trial. And what I try to explain to them during the time that I'm with them is this isn't over in one day.
Right.
You've bonded out of jail and everybody's on board to take care of this, but you do realize you're looking at 2 years.
Right.
You're looking at maybe longer. So we try to have two proponents of our system where one takes care of the legal and one takes care of you. And that's really what my role is and what Gary's role is. And our company takes pride in both. We take great pride in, if you need counseling, we're getting you counseling. If you need a firearm, let's say you get involved in an incident and you've been cleared, but they kept your gun.
Right.
Okay. Once you're legally able to have that firearm back and they don't give it back, we'll take care of making sure that you're not unarmed. Now, you have to, again, we're not going to give you a gun if your bond, says you
illegal.
can't have one.
Yes,
exactly.
yeah.
But at the same time, our company is very, very dedicated to taking care of the well-being and not just the legal or civil aspect of it.
We really take care of law-abiding, firearm carrying citizens.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, I spent 31 years in law enforcement. I spent 17 of it as a homicide detective. I spent a lot of time watching people getting ready to be run over or steamrolled by a system, and they had no idea what was getting ready to happen. And this has given me a nice opportunity to maybe try to right that ship a little bit.
Yeah.
And I tell people, if you want to look at real justice reform, you need to look at this industry, because this industry is what is leveling the financial playing field for all of the law-abiding citizens out there. You can have $500,000. That's what it cost us to defend Stephen Maddox in North Carolina, $500,000. And it didn't come out of his pocket. He never saw an invoice for anything. And our plans are less than a Netflix subscription.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense that you don't have something. Even if you choose not to go with our company, that's a personal decision. I get that. But you better have something in place.
Yeah, the return on investment is there.
Absolutely. Yeah. It will bankrupt you, and you could have done nothing wrong, but you'll still be bankrupt.
I've heard of basically insurances that you can get when you have carry, like a carry conceal license or something like that. How is this different? So
the difference between us, CCW Safe, and other companies in this industry are we are not an insurance. A lot of those companies have a third-party insurer, and just like you buy car insurance, and your agent finds you a company to insure you, that's basically what's going on.
Okay.
For us, what was done when this company was set up is we have a captive insurance. We have insured the company itself. CCW Safe is insured. We're not insuring you as a person.
Yeah.
So you join us as a membership, we're insured, you're not. The benefits of your membership provide you with these things.
Gotcha.
That's big because if you do have a result in your case or in your incident that is a guilty plea or a guilty verdict, which none of us want, but we can't guarantee the outcome. We can just support you through it.
Right.
You can be sent a letter demanding restitution for everything they spent, because it is illegal, no matter what state you're in, to insure a criminal act. It's simply a business model difference,
Right.
but it's huge to our members that they're never going to get a letter from us ever. They don't ever have to worry about getting a letter from us demanding money back.
Right. And especially if, you went through this terrible situation, the courts didn't sway your way, and now you owe us all your money.
Now you have to pay us back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys aren't going to do that to
No,
people.
we will not do that. That
That's
will not
amazing.
happen.
Yeah. I personally, this is my first time hearing of your service, but this sounds great as someone who, firmly believes in defending myself with a firearm.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. And, carry concealed classes as firearm safety classes. I'm surprised they don't, have this in their classes.
Well,
stating,
they do. Some are,
places.
and it's becoming more popular. It's firearms instructors have done an outstanding job of making sure that their students, making sure their students understand. Not only is this a huge responsibility, because every one of them teaches the responsibility, the safety, the importance of making sure you're not negligent. They're also teaching them how to protect themselves. And this is one way to do that is nowadays. And like I said, I'm not a gun person. I don't understand how anyone doesn't have a service like this involved, whether it's our company or another one. And that's one of the other things about our company is it's not just firearms.
Right.
It's a weapon of opportunity. One of our founders, Stan Campbell, likes to say, if you're in your front yard and somebody comes up and you have to defend yourself with your concrete squirrel lawn ornament, we're going to cover that.
Wow.
It's the act of self-defense. It's not the weapon that you have.
Okay, that's really good to know.
So that's important also.
Yeah. When I was, a teenage girl who just got my driver's license, my dad got me this giant flashlight, that seconds as a weapon. So you would cover that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the things that I use in explaining the need for this, whether it's our company or another one. The need for this type of coverage is, let's say your wife doesn't carry. Husbands I'm talking to, and I say, your wife doesn't carry. But she rounds the corner, and in this day and age, drives right into a protest. And they start attacking her car. What's her self-defense option?
What's she going to do?
Driving off.
Right.
Well, guess what? Her weapon of opportunity was her car.
Right, her vehicle.
If you're a member and it's a self-defense incident, you're going to be covered, whether it's a gun, a car, a concrete squirrel, or otherwise.
That's really interesting.
So,
yeah, well, that sounds necessary
it's
for life.
Really, in all honesty,
yes.
If you listen, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah. And again, especially just for the simple TSA service where it's
absolutely,
like, oops, I forgot.
Well, and if you think, even that, I talked to a gentleman today, and he's talking about, well, my state has qualified immunity from civil liability if you're not charged with a crime. Well, that's great, but you still have to go through the process.
Yeah.
You still have to go through the system for somebody to rule that what you did wasn't a crime, and for a judge to rule that qualified immunity is applied to you. It's the same thing law enforcement officers have to go to.
Okay.
They still have to go through the court process for somebody to drop that gavel and say, no, you've got qualified immunity. You're not going to be, sued for this. You can't be sued for
You're
this.
You're going to be held liable.
Well, who's going to pay for that? We will pay for that if you are a member up until the point that it's ruled qualified immunity.
Okay.
And he said, do I still need my membership? And I said, well, for the cost of Netflix, we'll write all the checks, we'll cover it, or you can cover it yourself, and in the end not have to pay out a payment. That's great, but you're still paying for that.
One of the things that, you hope never happens to you, but if it does happen to you, you want to not have to worry about this stuff.
And that is something that a lot of our members, when I'm talking to them, will talk about, is the peace of mind. And again, we're talking about the mentality.
Yeah.
You are going to take the steps to become trained. You're going to take the steps to keep that skill proficient. You're going to get a CCW if you need to, if you feel like you need to. And you're going to go through all that, but you're not going to take the simple step of paying $19 a month
Yeah.
less than $600 a year to protect yourself if you have to take that step. You know, it just, to me, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a great thing you guys have going over there.
It really, I don't think there's anything, I don't think there's a con or a negative to having this type of coverage at all.
Yeah, I mean,
No matter what company you go with, not having this coverage is like not having homeowners insurance.
Yeah,
you know,
and I mean,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and it's just like it fits so well because everyone who does carry conceal or stuff like that, anyone who has a weapon and has it for self-defense purposes, that's you're using that because you think maybe one day it would happen.
Right.
So this is the same thing.
Exactly.
You should get this because maybe one day it could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's if they go on our website, they can look at Stephen Maddox. Stephen Maddox was the first case in this industry where it went to trial. He was acquitted. We spent $400,000 on his defense. That's been 7 years ago, so I can't even imagine how much it would cost now. And he flat out said, I had the money. I could have paid for it myself. I just didn't have a clue what to do.
Yeah.
So not only are you not out of pocket, you have a team of over 100 years of law enforcement, many years of criminal trial experience. We have Jennifer Chance on our attorneys team, and she was a prosecutor, so she understands what goes on the opposite side.
Yeah.
We have Dawn West, our national trial attorney, who was an attorney on the George Zimmerman case. So we have tried and true experienced people. We're not just showing up after you've paid us just to hold your hand.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing, and we know what we're talking about.
You have the years of experience. You have basically the repetition.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That normal people aren't going to have.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for meeting me.
You bet.
You know, how can people reach you? What's your website? How do people get a hold of you?
CCWsafe.com is our website. It's really self-explanatory. We don't overdo it with a ton of stuff. Our memberships are laid out really simple. If you have any questions, you can always reach me. My email is Chris, CRIS, @ccwsafe.com. And just reach out to us and I'll answer any questions you have. If you're a member already, I talk to them all the time. Even though we don't provide legal advice, you know, we're not prepaid legal. There's obviously a point that your coverage kicks in, and that's if you've been involved in a self-defense incident. But as a courtesy to our members, we try to help them figure out. I have members all the time that'll reach out saying, hey, I'm traveling from this state to this state. I'll be driving through these states. What's my carry status? What's my, how do I get legally compliant? And I'll try to research it for them and answer those questions. So we do try to help our members with little things I'm obviously not an attorney, so we do that. And then we have our hotline that you would call if you were involved in an incident. And then we have our customer service line that's manned 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. And we get with you as quickly as we can get back.
Well, that's amazing. Yeah.
So
thank you so much for meeting with me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I know that this weekend is crazy for you guys.
We've hit the ground running, and it's still got 2 more days to go.
Yeah,
so.
I appreciate it. I mean, it's Friday, so. Well, I'll check in with you on Sunday and see how you're feeling.
Absolutely. I'll come by, and you'll know if my eyes are crossed. It was a long weekend. So,
which is always good, honestly. But there you have it, guys. Remington is on the rise. Like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to share this podcast with your hunting or shooting buddies. If you have any questions for me or you want to reach Chris here, you can email me at podcast@remington.com. Thanks for listening.